Good morning once again, class 7th. So we learn tracing changes thousands of the year. Okay, this chapter, and we are moving in the now this page. Last day we learn about why they have not using the printing press. Yeah, why they have used the scribes. Yeah, the help of the scribes they have written there. Yeah, you can say wrote their books. Yeah, or their manuscript taxes accounts also. So why? Because there was no printing press in those days, so scribes copied manuscripts by hand. Okay, they copied by hand. If you have ever copied a friend's homework, you would know that this is not a simple exercise. So all of you know about that one. If you are missing some notes, so you are taking help of your friend, and sometimes the writing is very interesting and very good, so maybe possible or maybe very bad also. Okay, so sometimes you cannot read your friend's handwriting and are forced to guess. Yeah, guess is what is the written. As a result, there are small but significant difference says in your copy of your friend's work. Manuscripts copying is somewhat similar, same thing. Okay, because they are not understanding what they have wrote that time. Okay, and so that's why that is a little bit differences there. Okay, so now these not in a word sentence there also. Okay, as the scribes copied manuscripts, they also introduce small changes, a word here, a sentence there, may be possible. Okay, so these small differences grew over the centuries of copying until the manuscripts of the some texts became the subsequently different from the one another. So this yeah, you can say that type of difference it create a little bit problem. Okay, so I will show you in earlier type of printing press. Okay, it is the old form of the printing press, but nowadays it is a very you can say mobilize. Yeah, you can say very modify. And in India, printing press was introduced by Portuguese. Okay, after 1498. So this is a serious problem because we rarely find that original manuscripts of the author. Today we are totally dependent upon the copies made by the later scribes. As a result, historians have to read different manuscript version of the same text to guesses what the author had originally written. So little bit we are, you can say, yeah, such type of the confusion are created. Which type of the texted, yeah, you can say which type of the matter is there. Because why? Because they all have follow the same tradition. Okay, tradition means just like they copied and they modify them also a little bit. We can say in date wise, if we talk about the Delhi Sultanate, so maybe possible one scribes wrote Qutub Minar built by Qutubuddin Aibak. Okay, and he passed away. The work is going on and the mid of the minar. Okay, so Iltutmish was started now. So other one is also started, same thing, that one. After the death of the Qutubuddin Aibak, Iltutmish completed the which one? The Qutub Minar works. Answer is same, a little bit difference you can say. A little bit they add some words and some new phrases there. Okay, now one occasions authors revise their chronicles at the different times. The 14th century chronicles, Ziauddin Barni wrote his chronicle first in 1356 and author version 2 years later. Another version you can say. Okay, these two differ from each other, but historians did not know about the existence of the first version until the 1960. It reminded lots of large library collections. It remained it lost in the large library collections. So the original version is, you can say that is the original, but the second version, yeah, is the first version of that particular book, a little bit different from the that particular one. Okay, now the new social and political groups how they emerged. The study of the thousands years between 700 and 1750 is a huge challenge to historians, largely because of the scale and variety of the development that occurred over the period. At different moments in this period, now technology made their appearance, like the Persian wheel in irrigation, the spinning wheel in the weaving, and the firearms in the combat. New foods and beverages arrived in the subcontinent: potatoes, corn, chili, tea, and coffee. Remember that all these innovations, new technologies, and crops came along with the people, who brought other ideas with them as well. As a result, this was a period of economic, political, social, and cultural changes. You will learn about some of these changes about the page number 5, 6, and 7. So in I think that is the chapter number. So we learn about the in chapter number 5, rulers and buildings, how they can decorated their buildings. Okay, and now wheel in the irrigation. Nowadays also the same wheel used in, not nowadays, in the previous we can say 20 to 25 years ago, that is used by irrigation system we have, uh, yeah, irrigation facility. So that is called rahat. Okay, rahat. Yeah, modern day they are it is known as the nalkoop. Okay, the well. Okay, yeah, the groundwater well, that is called. Yeah, well means very simple, that is. So irrigation and spinning wheels, weaving, for weaving, just like in charkha. Okay, so they use that one, and potatoes, corn, chilies, tea, and coffee. They all are, you can say, the foreigners came here and they brought their some useful commodities for the new area also, yeah, new country also, and we are habitual for that particular one nowadays also. Coffee, tea, chili, corn, potatoes, most important things, that one. Okay, so we are not sure about that one, that is the Indian, but that is, we are sure about that one, that was the used by foreigners earlier, and then we can use that one. Okay, so now this was also a period of the great mobility. Groups of the people traveled long distances in the search of opportunities. The subcontinent held immense wealth and the possibilities for the people to crave a fortune. One group of the people who became important in this period were the Rajput. A name derived from the Rajputra. Okay, the son of the ruler. Between the 8th and 14th century, the term was applied more generally to a group of the warriors who claimed Kshatriya caste status. So, who was called Kshatriya, who are the warriors. In Hindu myth, we can say, in Hindu mythology, our society was divided into the Brahmans, Kshatriya, okay, and Vaishya and Sudras. Okay, so the famous one, that is in the 8th and 11th century or 14th century, that was the Kshatriya, who are the warriors. Okay, and Rajputra, especially for the Rajasthan area, so that's why they are called the place of the Rajputra. Okay, Rajput, such type of the terminology we can use. The term included not just rulers and chieftains, but also soldiers and commanders who served in the armies of the different monarchs all over the subcontinent. Cavalry code of the conduct, cavalry code of conduct, extreme valor, and a great sense of the loyalty were the qualities attributed a Rajput by their poets and bards. Other group of people, such as the Maratha, Sikh, Jat, Ahoms, and Kaktiya, या कायस्थ, a caste of scribes and secretaries, also used the opportunities of the age to become politically important. So in this time, not only the Rajputs, some more, you can say, jatis, yeah, some more community also developed. Okay, so in spite of them, they are the Kayast also, Ahom, Jat, Sikh, Marathas, all in all sections we can learn in the next few chapters. Okay, now the throughout the period there was a gradual clearing of the forests and extents of the agriculture, a change faster and more complete in the some area than in the others. Changes in their habitat forced many forest dwellers to migrate. Others started tilling the land and became the peasants. These new peasants group gradually began to be influenced by the regional market, chieftain, priests, monasteries, and temples. They became part of the large complex societies and were required to pay taxes and offer goods and services to local lords. As a result, significant economic and social differences emerged amongst the peasants. Some possessed more productive land, others also kept cattle, and some combined artisanal work with the agriculture activity during the lean season. As society became more differentiated, people were grouped into the jatis or subjatis. Okay, so when the changes occurred, and now the need of the land and how they can fulfill that particular one, they can remove all the you can say the native their neighboring forest, and such where there are some habitant of the peoples, they are convert into a peasants who are earlier in the, you can say, the forest people. But now that days they convert him to peasants. And peasants, now when they have became the peasants, then the you can say a circle was grown up. Okay, and in this circle they are the producer and they are exporter too. Okay, they are export their product to the society. Okay, now the society became big one. Okay, yeah, started by one to other villages, turn to another and second villages, and then the feeling of the jatis also craved, yeah, you can say, was emerged. Okay, and jati and subjati also subcasted and ranked on the basis of their backgrounds, which type of the backgrounds they have. Okay, that is not created by the man, that is created by society. Just like we are a person who are engaged in the agriculture, that is called peasants, kisan. Okay, but means that should not be a brahman. Okay, that should not be a kshatriya, because kshatriya busy in the war. Okay, and so Vaishya busy in the business, and last one is the Sudra, who are served there all the three sections of their caste. Okay, so now jatis were create problems. Why? Because the backgrounds and they are now they are in this time what they are doing, that is adding for them. Okay, and the power, influences, and resources controlled by the member of the jati. The status of the some jati could vary from area to area, and this jati system was create problems also, and that is very you can say the difference between the area to area. Sometimes they are very liberal, yeah, sometimes they are very, you can say, gone to the conservatism. Okay, they are very conservative, yeah, that is the right word. And some areas they are liberals. Jatis framed their own rules and regulation and manage the conduct of their members. These regulations were enforced by an assembly of the elders described in the some area as the Jati Panchayat, but Jatis were also required to follow the rulers of their villages. Several villages were governed by the chieftains. Together they were only one small unit of a state. So sometimes they created their own society and they put up to they govern to them, and they renamed their jatis, that is called Jati Panchayat. Okay, and they are govern and they are rule them. They are small chieftains, you can say. Okay, and they are the part of the small state too. Okay, now that is the part of Quran, that is the new part one. So tracing throughout same chीज we are learning. Now region and empire. Large states like those of the Cholas, we have chapter number 2, we have earlier learn Tughlaq, chapter number 3, of Mughal, chapter number 4, encompass many regions. Sanskrit Prasastis, chapter number 2, for example, as the Prasasti praising Delhi Sultanate Ghiyasuddin Balban, and expanded that he was the ruler of the vast empire that was stretched from the Bengal god in the east of Ghazni, that is called Gajjan. Okay, in Afghanistan in the west and included all of the South India, that is called Dravid, which we will call is Dravid. Okay, that is part called Dravid. Here is the Ghazni. Okay, here is the God. The old name of Bengal was God. God, not God. People of the different regions, God, Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Gujarat, apparently failed before his army. Historians, when the Mughal Empire declined in the 8th and 18th century, it led the re-emergence of the regional states. We can learn about that in chapter number 10. But years of the imperial pan-regional ruler had alerted that character of the regions across most of the subcontinent. The regions were left with the legacy of the big and small states that had rulers over them. This was the apparent to in the emergence of the many districts and the shared tradition in the realms of the governance, the management of the economy, elite cultures and languages through the thousands years between 700 and 1750. The character of the different regions did not grow in the isolation. These regions felt the impact of larger pan-regional forces of the integration without ever quite losing their distinctiveness, you can say. So we talk about that. It's a page number 10. Okay, page number 10 is missing, I think. So we will explain in the next chapter. Okay, thank you.